My name's Doug Devos, and the first thing I want to assure you is this is not an Amway advertisement. But that video had a lot of powerful commentary there, and my dad had a wonderful way of sharing words like that. But I want to just thank you as well as Joe did. Thank you all for being here, and maybe I can explain just a little bit of why we're here. We've had a couple meetings about A250, GR175, and how it's come together, and my partner, Mayor LeGrand, and myself have had a wonderful time, and we've been hosted beautifully at the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum. But we wanted to kind of shake things up a little bit, and we wanted to kind of create a different atmosphere because we felt it was time to kind of launch us in a new way and say, this is real now, this is important now, and we wanted to include so many of you, your steering committee members who are here and subcommittee members who are here and others in the community that are here that are part of this, because we need to engage you. So what we're talking about is a GR A250, but why we're talking about it is how to engage you and how you can engage more and more people in our community to think about these ideas. And as Joe said, engage in these ideas and make a commitment to take action to make our community better, building on the principles that have been put in place when our country was founded and that we've failed to really always live up to. But we can be better. We can be more perfect as a country and as a city. You know, yesterday I had the opportunity to be at the U.S. Naval Academy, and it's a really fascinating opportunity to be there. And I learned a couple things from some of the folks that were there. The first one is you never want to come in second in a naval battle. And that's a pretty good thing to think through. You know, I hadn't thought about that as clearly before. But, and then they talked about something else, which I think is kind of important. They said our Navy, in many cases, most of what we've done, we're prepared to be the away team. Most of the wars are fought overseas. And really, since the Revolutionary War or the Civil War, there haven't been any wars on our soil. There's been attacks, but really never wars. We've never known that sort of challenge or that war-torn existence that so much the world deals with. And so it's easy for us to get comfortable. So as we celebrate this anniversary, it isn't about a birthday party. It isn't about just one point in time. It's an opportunity for deep reflection on all of us to say, what are we going to do today to make the next 250 years better, to make the next week better, or the next year better? What are we going to do about it? That's what Joe was talking about. And I think it's important for us to challenge ourselves to do so and to recognize how blessed we are. A number of years ago, my father had the opportunity to meet a gentleman named Admiral Bill Owen. He was the admiral of the Atlantic Fleet, and after the Cold War ended and the wall came down between East and West in Europe, he took the fleet and he wanted to show the flag. He's going to wave the flag, and he sailed up the Bosporus, he sailed into the Black Sea, and they sailed to Romania to do a visit. And the ships were in the harbor, and he got on his launch to go ashore. And as he came ashore, again, security was a little lighter in those days. He came ashore, he noticed there was a man on the wharf that had his hand on the boat. And as the admiral got off the ship, he saw this man. And he said to his interpreter, I want to talk to him. He said, "Sir, why are you here holding onto the ship?" And through the interpretation, he said, "Admiral," he says, "I'm an old man now. Many of my friends, my family, are all dead. And it's been tough. But Admiral, when I saw those ships in the harbor, when I saw that flag on those ships, I had to come down here and touch this boat just to make sure it was real. Because Admiral, you don't understand. I've been waiting 40 years for you to come back to me. Wow. What does this flag, what does this country mean to people around the world? It's easy for us to get it because we have the joy of experiencing it on a regular basis. But our country is just as fragile as every other civilization that's gone before. You saw that in the video. We talk about all these other civilizations. So I thought I would figure out if I could use ChatGPT and see that would happen myself. There's a lot of old civilizations in this world. Ancient Egypt, 2,500 years of civilization. Mesopotamia, 3,000 years. The Romans, 500. The Ottomans, 700. The Mayans, 600. What do they all have in common? They're gone. All those years. What happened? Well, again, I'm not brilliant. I just read what the computer tells me, right? Internal strife, corruption, civil war. The economy stopped working for people. Drought, famine, failure to adapt, and ultimately suffered from invasion and conquest. Not a good recipe when you're a civilization at 250. You know, it's easy to think that this goes on forever. And I'm reminded by a quote my father had, and he shared with us. He said, "A great tradition can be inherited, but greatness itself must be won by each of us." So we sit here today. We haven't had wars on our shores. We've been able to enjoy the prosperity that this country has brought. We've wonderfully lived in this amazing city. So many things have gone well. We have the opportunity to celebrate and be in this place. But it won't. Will it last forever? What are the risks for us? Joe mentioned some of those. And again, you could talk about political polarization. You could talk about division. You could talk about the fact that there isn't equal opportunity for everybody yet. There's work for us to do. This division where we decide we can't compromise, we stop trusting our institutions, start questioning ourselves and who we are. How do we stay strong? So I kind of asked the question and say, well, can the U.S. fail? I think the answer is yes. The same way the unsinkable Titanic could sink. I love that line from the movie when they're asking the designer, and after they've hit the iceberg, and they say, well, surely the boat can't sink. He says, it's made of steel. It'll sink. So what are we going to do? I don't want to paint a negative picture at all. I want to paint a positive picture. This is an opportunity, just like Joe said, this is an opportunity for us to get involved. And we don't just talk about one date that we're going to celebrate or having a birthday party. This is our lifetime. Let's use this as an opportunity for a long period of time to figure out how we are going to engage to make ourselves, our families, our neighborhoods, our communities, our city, our state, and our country better. That's what we have the opportunity to do. You know, as I've traveled around the world, you understand the perspective that people have on America, and you can say very easily we're the most successful country the world has ever seen. But it's like a sporting event where you're way ahead. We have the ball. We're way ahead of the competition. But it's really early in the game. Maybe the Egyptians thought that, at 250 before they got to 3,000. A lot can happen. I've seen a lot of my teams get way ahead. Teams that I cheer for, they get way ahead, only to lose in the end. Like that game against San Francisco last year for my Lions. Still think about that one. Look at what we've done in Grand Rapids. Not just our nation. Look what the city has been. Look what's happened here over my lifetime, some of you, your lifetime, to see where we've been and where we are. It's not going to just continue like that by itself. It's going to take work from all of us to keep it going and to make sure we stay strong. So what's our secret sauce? As a country, we've got our Declaration. We've got that guidance of the Constitution. We've got that aspirational goal to shoot for. We know we can be better. We know we can be more perfect. But our real secret sauce is you and your neighbor and others in our community. It's people. It's the American people. It's Grand Rapidians that are going to make things better. You know, in our business, in the Amway business, we always believed that when somebody had an opportunity, they would do something with it. They would grab the ball, they would do something and make their life better. A lot of us, it's easy to complain, right? You know, and say, oh, things are tough, and that's may be true, it may not be true. But how do you get in the game? It's like the old joke of somebody who was complaining, he was out of money, down on his luck, and said, I need to win the lottery. And he prayed a lot, Lord, I need to win the lottery. I need to win the lottery. And he was in church praying about that, and finally the ground rumbled, the heavens opened up, and it said, buy a ticket. How do we get engaged? A number of years ago, my father was speaking to a group of graduates. It was a tough economic time, and a lot of people spoke before him, and we were talking about the difficult economic time, and you might not find a job, you might not go where you want to do, this is all going to be head because it's so bad out there. And my dad got up and he said, don't listen to him. Doesn't matter if it's a good time or a bad time. It's the only time you have. So as we're here, and as Joe says, it's good to be alive. It's good to be here. It's good to have these opportunities. And in my case, and in this time, it's good to have a partner. It's good to have a friend who is on this journey with me. So I'd like to introduce our mayor, David LeGrand. David?